Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, hello everyone. My name is Demi Maharani and today I'm going to talk about school transportation with an exercise. This is for my English advanced speaking assignment. And we have my laptop to show me the question, and here I have Jenga because why not to spicy things up to make things spicier? And then let's just jump into it. The first question is, what was your high school like? I went to SMA Negeri 15 Bandar Lampung. It is a public school, and I really love my school. The building is really pretty from the outside, and from the inside, it's still pretty. However, we have some buildings that gives off horror vibes because the building is kind of old, and then the paint is kind of blurry or dirty, and especially because we have a big banyan tree in front of the building. So me and my friends and I used to joke around about the ghost. Like, is there any ghost standing in front of our class right now? And it was really fun. And also, the we have second floor, and I used to use that when I was in 12th grade. And then the school buildings are like surrounding the big yard in the middle of the school. And overall, I really love my school. The one thing that I don't like is the road. Whenever I have to go to the school, me and my father and I always complain about the road condition. It has many holes, and then many broken corner of the road, and I think everyone complain about it. I don't know why it didn't get fixed. I don't know the condition right now. I hope it is better, but in my era it was really bad. Sometimes the road around the gate also get flooded when there was a heavy rain. So we still joking about that we have a chocolate milk in our school. Next is, what was your favorite subject in high school? I always like language, so I really like Indonesian and English language, and especially English language because I have more talent in that. I love Indonesian language, but because I always got bad grades when I took tests. I don't. That makes me doesn't really like Indonesian, and I always got high score in English, so that makes me more confident, and then makes me more enjoy the language. And because of how I like English language, I also joined the English club, and until now I go into English major in my college right now. Next question, what advice do you have for high school students today? Advice: they should study harder, and they must not rely on AI. AI is ruining everything. AI makes everything easier, which makes people even more lazy. And if students depend on AI, rely on AI, their future will be harder, like really hard, because the future won't take easy on us, especially when the technology era already this advanced, because people know that there is a possibility of us using AI. So the tasks like the interview for work or test for work will be much harder, and we have to prove our skills, and our skill must not rely on AI. If we use AI I think our high school will be in vain. Like we go to school to study, but we study with AI, and then we graduate from high school. What would you get? Because we doesn't even study. We don't even study because we use AI, and that's really bad. We have to rely on ourselves. We have to study by ourselves, open the book, open the internet, not AI. And for the girl students, I hope you are focusing on your brain even more instead of only your beauty. In this era, many girl students only focus on their appearance and then the trends, so they don't really focus on their study. And there is saying that beauty can help you, however it's not really right. So I hope you focus on your study, sharp your sharpening your brain instead of your beauty, and that will help you even more. Next topic is transportation. What is transportation like in your city or town? I live in big city in Bandar Lampung. However, I don't really go out a lot, so I don't know the transportation. The one that I know is we have motorcycle, as in ojek online. However, I sometimes see ojek offline too, especially near traditional market because all people still use it. And then I sometimes see beta in the near in the near traditional market too. And then we have car, of course, and then we have bus. And the I think the traffic in Lampung is not that bad. I say that because I don't really know the traffic. However, when I went in a big road, there are lots of big bus, big truck, and that makes me scared actually. And because of that, I don't really drive on my own because it's scary. Next is, how do you usually get to school or work? I usually go by my father, with my father. I mean, I use not usually. I always go to school with my father by his motorcycle. However, sometimes when I go to the school with ojol, if things happen like the motorcycle suddenly cannot move or the tire suddenly broken, and when I go to home, I also always got picked up by my father, and just like before, sometimes by ojol too, or sometimes by walk because I didn't want to spend my money, and I think walking will make me healthier. So why not? And my mother always mad about it. She didn't want to see me walking to my home because it's kind of far, but I'm fine though. So I didn't regret it a bit. I'm not regretting it a bit. And then question 3, are there any problems with your transportation to school or work? I don't have any problem with it because I go to school with my father. And the only problem is when it related with the motorcycle itself. Like again, the tire the tire suddenly broken, or the fuel suddenly ran out. And if that thing happened when I was in a rush, I most definitely will feel frustrated. However, because frustrating won't change anything, I tend to be more patient. I got patient, and then because of that, right now I tend to be more patient with everything because that is that. And then weather. What is the weather like in your city or town? In Indonesia, we only have two weather, which is rainy season and then summer season. And of course, in Bandar Lampung, that happens too. However, I think when it is sunny, it gets really hot. It can like gets really hot, and sometimes even though the sun is not on, it's not above us, the whole vibes is just hot, and that even worse. I think that's even worse than the hot that caused by the sun. And when the rain comes, sometimes it's still hot. I don't know why. And then, what do you like to do when the weather is rainy? I love cooking a soupy noodles with eggs and then with vegetables and then some chilies. I really love that. And then set a movie to watch, and after that I sleep because I think sleeping when the rain is when the rain is happening feels really comfortable because the weather is becoming colder. However, if the rainy season brings thunder, that's really bad. I don't like thunder. I got scared easily, and thunder has a really big sound which makes me jump up. And when that happens, I hate rain. I love rainy season, but with thunder, I'm out. And then, what kind of climate would you prefer to live in? Mm, I in Indonesia, I prefer to live in summer because again, the rain sometimes bring thunder, so I prefer summer. And I am better with heat instead of cold. When there is heat, I can be patient. I can use the fan. However, when there is rain that brings a really cold vibe and then cold weather or everything, I get shivering a lot, and like many layers of blanket won't help me. I don't know why. I'm not really good with blanket. So in the country that has many seasons like winter and fall and summer and then other season, I love to see winter. However, I don't want to live in winter season because it's really cold. And then next topic is exercise. What kind of physical exercise do you like to do? I like to play badminton because badminton is really fun and easy to play. I think more easier to play than any other exercise, and because the exercise is focused on like one on one or two and two, it feels more personal. It feels like we have lots of action. It feels like we do the exercise. It's kind of not it doesn't really make sense actually, but that's how I feel. Badminton, however, badminton also doesn't really. Badminton, I think I took my word. Badminton is not a really hard exercise because you don't get to run from here and there and you don't get to jump every time. However, I love badminton because it's easy to play and it doesn't need a really, it doesn't need a special environment, like a big yard to play soccer, to play football. And then, what kind of exercise did you do when you were younger? When I was a child, I used to play soccer a lot because in my environment, in my neighborhood, we mostly have boys friend. We have boyfriend. We mostly have boys, and the girls also becomes kind of tomboyish because of that. And I also become kind of tomboyish and play with the boys, play soccer, play football, those kind of things, because we follow the boys. And it was really fun. I am not really good with soccer, however, when I play the soccer, I always be the keeper, the one who catch the ball. If it nears the net, the gawang, and I didn't play the one who kicks the ball because I'm not really good at kicking. I'm good at catching it, and it was really fun because we were children, and then we just played with everyone, and I somehow get competitive too. So I want my team to win. And then, if is exercise important to you, why or why not? I think exercise is really important. However, I don't exercise a lot because I'm not sure I can say, even it's hard to say, I'm lazy to do it, and I'm not really disciplined with it. I tried to do exercise, but like after some weeks, I stop. I don't know why. But exercise is really good to help your mood, to help your body, and if you exercise, your brain, your thought will get cleaner, will get clearer, and then also your mood, and then your body will get healthier. So if you eat a lot, if you sit in a long time, you shouldn't be worried if you exercise. But if you eat a lot and then you study a lot, like you sit a lot but you don't exercise, you should be worried of your health. So you should immediately exercise. It doesn't have to be a big exercise like going to the gym. You can jog around your house, or you can do push up, sit up, those small exercise. Or if you feel like exercise is boring, you can watch YouTube. There are tons of music exercise, so it's kind of rhythm exercise, and it's really fun. I tried it. Next, oh, that's it. We have talked about school, we have talked about weather, transportation, and exercise. And I hope that's enough. And I somehow doesn't really speak everything that I want to speak. And also, I think this Jenga thing isn't really helping my focus. The next video I won't do this, I guess. And I hope I can expand my vocabulary in the future, because I feel I'm kind of fluent already. However, my vocabulary is not really wide, and I am working on that, and I hope I will get to that level, the fluency, the grammar, and the vocabulary. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.